Hey YouTube, and thanks for watching Junkworks Garage. Well, I'm in the middle of putting a lift on my Jeep Liberty, so go to my Jeep Liberty playlist if you want to watch that. And in the midst of that, I need to take off this outer tie rod end, and I have a new one to replace it with, so I'm going to go ahead and take that off. I'm using a 21 millimeter and an impact wrench. You can use 21 millimeter regular wrench, whatever you got, socket, or a 13/16 will fit as well. This just makes life a little bit easier. And this is not going to work. This is a rental, really been ground down on and everything rental. Unfortunately, it's not going to work. Anyhow, so this is probably what most of you are going to be using, is just a big old hammer here. Got a little bigger pry bar here. Now, most of you will have the springs and everything all hooked up here, which might make life a little easier. But right now, I just have this fairly loose. And put some ear protection on, unlike my stupid self. So we got this set up now. The 1 inch is too big and the 15/16 is too small, so this is a metric. I don't know. 1 inch might work, but honestly, using a 1 inch on here would probably strip it out worse than using a big crushing on here. I do, on the other hand, have a 1 inch on this right here. Seems to work fine. And actually, I was kind of looking at this and I didn't realize that there was a separate nut. There usually is, but it doesn't look like it with all the gunk and buildup that was on here. But once I sprayed it all down with my Blaster PB stuff here, not a sponsor, wish they were. Once I got it all sprayed down with that, I was able to kind of tell that there is a definite break right here where the nut and this arm hits. So I don't know if you'll be able to tell, I got my crescent on here and it's kind of jammed underneath the axle and onto the A-arm in between the two a little bit. So when I push down on it, I'm making sure anyway that I'm not really harming anything or bending on anything back here. And I got it jammed just right so I can really give her heck. I'm going to throw some gloves on. Alright, and then for now anyway, I got my 1 inch on here. We'll see, it's fairly loose, so I don't want to kill myself or come back and hit anything here. So just got it propped up here, and I'm just gonna give her heck. It's about all you can do. Unfortunately, I can't get on here with a impact or anything like that. Son of a bitch. Alright, well, after a little bit of first aid on the elbow here and some first aid on my wrench, I actually cut the end off here. Don't worry, it is a cheap Mastercraft from Walmart or Kmart or something like that, or some sort of mart. I've changed the crescent wrench so it's actually holding the right direction, which also kind of, I thought I had it jammed in there good. That's kind of why I had it the way I had it, but it slipped and we had problems. So hopefully this way will actually work better. And then on top of that, I got my jack handle so I can stay back a little bit further and keep my elbows out of range. And we are going to go for it. Sometimes you just have to modify your tools. Go buy the cheapest thing you can find that'll get the job done, and cut it up. Unfortunately, I had this one already. I have a couple more 1 inch ones. This was just the longest one I had, unfortunately. So hopefully we won't hurt ourselves here. There we go. Well, it's turning, but the nut is turning, not the tie rod in here. Which is, if you're doing this and you're trying to get everything back to right where it was to get your alignment close, you need to mark everything. You're going to want to mark, you know, this to that, and maybe measure from the front to there, and where the nut from the back of the threads to the nut, those kind of things. You want to mark it as well as you can, take measurements, and put everything back as close as you can. This whole front end I have done, in putting this lift on, I am going to have to completely redo. All this stuff is going to change. I'm going to have to put it back to where it works for me. So it may be a different scenario for you. That's why I didn't bother marking, but you're going to want to go ahead and mark things. Put that in there to hold it, and break this loose. There we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and break this loose and bring it all the way out. I don't know if this is going to help, but at least once I get it up here, it'll hold it against that and keep it from turning. The big thing is we need to get this part off without damaging this part. Alright, now we'll go back to this here, see if I can get this on here. And hopefully we will have some success. Well, that's still wanting to turn on there. It'll get to a point where it stops because it can only go so far. There we go. Now this part is actually turning fairly easily again now. Alright, a little more effort than I wanted it to, but it really wasn't too bad. Had I been smart and just started with a longer lever instead of cracking my elbow on that, this would have been a much nicer job. But now we got that off, let's go get the new part. And then we got the new parts here. I actually bought a kit from Amazon that came with the tie rod ends and also the anti-sway bar and links here. And so your prices are going to probably vary on Amazon. They had lots of different things that you could buy in kits and things like that, but I knew I was replacing those and I knew I was replacing these, so I went ahead and bought a kit that had the two of them. I'll put the seller and price in the screen somewhere here, and I'm going to open these up. And it comes in a bag with the tie rod in and a nut. So we're going to be taking that nut off and putting this one on. So it's off. We got the new ones here. Got to put the nut on first here. I'm going to put my gloves back on. I know it needs to come out further, so I'm going to start with that nut there. I'm going to run this in. One thing I did notice is these are really stiff, and I don't know how much grease is in them, and there's no Zerk fitting. So at some point, I don't know, I might check into seeing how good of an idea or bad of an idea it would be to drill here and put a Zerk fitting in of my own. But that's down the line. Right now, this thing's been down for over a month now, probably. It's taken me to get all this stuff done, and I'm not even really, I still got the whole back end to do. So right now we're just getting this stuff put together. We're going to get it where it can be aligned, and I'll deal with those kind of things at another point in time. And I'm going back to the pipe wrench here, because I want to get this done as well. You could put jam nuts and stuff on and do all that, but really I'm not putting too many marks in that because it's just basically barely holding on. It's really not a lot of pressure. And I'm avoiding tightening or loosening it by using this right here. I'm actually going on here the best I can. And now button this up. Oh, you know what? That says right R right there. Huh. I take back what I said. There is a right and a left. They both have the same part number though. But this has an L and that has an R. So we are on the right hand side, thank goodness. But like I said, they really, they are opposite of each other. Okay, my bad. Definitely a right and left. Good thing I got him not mixed up. Alright, I'm going to bring this in a little bit more because I think I'm incorrect on my thoughts there, because it was probably about there. So I'm going to bring it into about there. I'm going to leave all this stuff kind of loose. I'm going to go ahead and hook it up here. Something else I probably should have checked was to make sure that this all fits in here good. As far as that kind of thing. And it does. And then I'm going to put this on just by hand right now. I might give it a couple extra turns so it doesn't fall off. There you go. If you were doing this, you would want to obviously do the other side. Same basic thing. I mean, if anything different happens, then I'll show you over there in this video. Otherwise, you're just going to do the same thing on the other side. And then you're going to want to get this as close as you can to the original, especially if you were just, you know, just doing this. Just get it as close as you can and then take it and have it align. As far as alignment's concerned, I went and bought one of those alignment tools that you can do it yourself kind of things. I'm going to see how well it does or doesn't go, and if you want to watch that, that'll also be in my Jeep playlist. It will also be in my tools, products, and reviews playlist, so you can choose whichever one you want to go to. So that pretty much covers everything. I'm also going to be doing this here, the anti-sway bar or sway bar end link, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to be doing that on a separate video along with the bushings that go to that sway bar there, so check that out if you're doing a bunch of front end stuff. Plus, again, I did the lift on this, but that'll show you also if you just need to do struts. Struts, super easy. You do not have to tear everything apart to do struts. I was able to get it in and out with no problem. With the lift, that was a different story. But regardless, now get out there and get your junk working. Thanks for watching Junk Works Garage, where I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all and master of none. You all have a good one.